Hello and welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at how you can calculate slope given coordinates by using what we call the slope formula. So we already know that slope, we use the letter m to represent that. So slope formula is the change in y over the change in x. So I know that your teachers already have been working on this with you and they already introduced it to you. So I just want to go over some basic things. The triangle, again, that means change or difference in mathematics. This actually means the difference between the two, between the x and the y. So your teachers actually showed you something great, but I'm going to show you two different ways to do this because in high school, your integrated algebra teacher are actually going to require you to use the slope formula, whereas your 8th grade teacher showed you a cool, nifty way to help you solve this. It's a little bit easier than what the teachers in high school are going to make you do. So I'm just going to show you one example today, and I'm going to show it to you two different ways, because you know how I like to do that anyway. So here's the example. Given the 2 points, 3, 2, and -1, -8, I want you to find the slope. Okay, find the slope. So we're going to start off with the 8th grade. The 8th grade teachers way, the one that your teachers have showed you, and that is to simply make an x and y t-chart. Okay, and we're going to rewrite our coordinates right in that chart, 3, 2, and -1, -8. Okay, and this does make life a little bit easier for us because now we have a nice little graphic organizer to help us out. So the formula tells us that we need to find the difference in the y's, divide that by the difference in the x's. So we're going to begin by looking at the y column here. So we're going to look at just the y coordinates. So how do we get, or what is the difference between 2 and -8? So if we think about a number line, how do we get from +2 down to -8? How far away is that? And are we moving in the positive direction or the negative? So to get from 2 to -8, we're going to go down 2 to 0, and then down another 8 to -8. Moving us down 10, and since we're going down, it's a -10. We're moving down, it's a -10, and that's the y coordinate, the change in the y. Now we're going to look at the change in the x. So how do I get from +3 to -1? I'm up at +3, I need to move down 3, and then down 1 more to -1. That's a total move of 4, and again, we're going down, so it's negative. Now again, I know your teachers have told you this all year, you should always simplify your fractions, so we need to do that here. But first let's address negative divided by negative is actually going to end up being a positive. Okay, and then if we divide both the top and the bottom here by 2, we will get 5 over 2. So our slope is a rise of 5 and a run of 2. Both the rise and the run are positive. Okay. So now I do want to show you the other way to do this, which is what you're going to experience next year because your 9th grade teachers don't necessarily like using the t-chart. They want you to know how to use the actual formula. So we're going to look at the same example, and I'm just going to show you an alternative strategy. So here we go. To find the difference in the y's, we need to first label our coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2. So for our y's, we're going to look. We have y2 minus y1, the difference in our y coordinates divided by x2 minus x1, the difference in the x coordinates. So let's fill this in. Our y2 is -8, making sure to bring down the minus, and our y1 is 2. All of that is divided by our x2, which is -1, making sure we bring down the minus, and then the x1 is 3. Now we're going to put this together. We have -8 minus 2. On top is a -10. And on the bottom, it's a -4. And then when I simplify that, it becomes a +5 over 2, which is the same slope. So again, just to recap this, you can use either strategy to find the slope. But just remember, it's always change in y over change